Okay. So yesterday we have discussed about relative path and absolute path and how to use the commands called different types of commands in relative path and absolute path. See, for example, I'll go to roots now. So how to go to the particular path or particular directory by using root or from anywhere from current directory or from root. Let me create one directory here, mkdir Palamner. Okay, so I'll go to Palamner now. So inside Palamner I'll create a directory called 180 degree college. So I'll go to 180 degree college. See, now I'm going directly cd space 180 degree college. Why? Because I'm what's now I'm in Palamner only. So in that Palamner directory we have 180 degree college. So I'm going directly without giving slash before 180 degree college. If I give slash in front of 180 degree college, it will not take up. Why? Because no such file or directory it will shows. Why? Because in the root it will go first root. Okay, in the root it will search whether there is a 180 degree or not. So in the root it was not there, it was in Palamner only. That's why we use 180 degree college here only. Okay, so that is the difference between absolute path means starting from the root. Remember that absolute path is nothing but starting from the root. Okay, right. Now I'll create one more directory called branches called bcom bsc bba. Right, so here I have three groups in 180 degree college now. So I'll go to bba now. So I'll create file here. Okay, at space students. Okay, here now I have students in bba directory. So where it was located, Palamner, 180 degree college, BBA. Now I want to copy the students to BCom also. So this is I will copy the students file to the BBA by using two methods. One is by using relative method and another one is absolute method. See here. So command is cp space minus pr copy command. So I'm copying students to this bcom. Okay, so instead of bba I'll do bcom. Here now the students file will copy to bcom. Look at here, cd space. So here you can find students. Now I want to copy the same students to bsc also. Okay, now I'll use a relative method, relative path dot slash bsc. See, why I'm using dot slash here is that is nothing but one step back. I have one step back. If I go to one step back means that will go to 180 degree college, right? So from BCom one step back, I'll go to 180 degree college, and from 180 degree college to I'll directly go to BSc. Okay, like this. This is called relative path, and this is called absolute path. Okay, so I'm just pressing enter now. See here, I'll go to BSc. Now this is I'm using same relative path only, cd space dot slash one step back, and it will go directly to the BSc, or you can go to BBA also. Why? Because you have three directories in 180 degree college, BBA, BCom, BSc. When you are inside BSc or BCom, if you want to come to BSc or BBA, just give one step back and then dot slash, and then you can give BSc like this. Okay, so now if you see ll, so students is there. So the file which we have created in bba was copied to both bcom and bsc. Right, this is how we can able to copy anything. And one more thing, if you want to see the content, if you want to list out the files or directories or anywhere. See, for example, now I'm in where, now I'm in, how can we check where we are in?
PWD.
Right, so now I'm in BSc. Now I want to check the contents in root. So how can I check that with the relative path? ls space minus l space.
It will give details.
Ah,
BSc details.
right. ls minus l
Yes.
means it will provide the details. Now I want to check the details of the folders or files in root. So now how can I check that? Without going to the root. Now I'm in BSc. Now I'm in Pulmonary 180 degree college BSc. But now I want to check the list. I mean, I want to list out the folders and files in root. How can I do that? Simple. Ls space minus l space slash. Here slash is nothing but root only, right? So
Yes.
these are all present in root only. See, Pulmonary in root only. We are in BSc only still, but I'm just using ls minus l to list out the files in columnar. Now I'll
Okay.
go to root. Okay. Still I'm in BSc only. Just I was used to ls minus l slash. Now I'll go to root. Okay. CD space root. See, now I'm in root only and we have columnar here. Now I want to check uh, what are the files or anything that is containing in bcom folder. So for that I will check by this command ls minus l slash columnar Palamner 180 degree college in that BCom. Here it is showing students there. I am not moving into the BCom directory, or I am not going into the BCom directory by using cd command, but instead of doing that I am just using ls minus l, and then I am looking into the BCom directory. What are the files that are containing in BCom directory? Okay, so this will saves your time. So instead of going to there, okay, if the required file or directory presenting in the bcom is, then you can go to the bcom and then you can do changes to the file. Like for example, now I want to add something to the students, means I'll add the student. Okay, so insert mode, escape colon w2. Okay, right. Now I want to see cat students. It was showing. Now I'm in bcom only. Okay, now I'll go to root cd space root. Now I'm in root. Now I want to check the contents inside the file student in bcom. So how can I do that? We have two options. I need to go to directly cd space columnar, then 180 degree college, then bcom. Then here I will go to here and then I will cat it, right? Cat space student. This is one method to see the contents inside the students. And you know that students file in bcom. Now if you want to check the contents inside the file students directly without going there, means simple by using cat command, but you need to give the absolute path. Columnar 180 degree college bcom students file. See, now it is showing directly. Here I didn't give a root symbol here. Why? Because I'm in root only. So instead of giving root when you are in root, directly you can give columnar. Okay. Why? Because that is current directory, current place. Okay. That's why. So this is called absolute path and relative path. Okay. In the yesterday class, I have explained clearly. Go through that video. Today I will upload that. So today we are going to see the topic called file permission. Okay, so permissions in the sense is, see for example, I'll go to say uh, become, right. See here, here we have students file. It is having different permissions. Okay, first let me explain clearly about the permissions concept. How that's going to be, what's that? How the concept is explained in Linux. Let me explain that first. One second, right. Mm. Now, actually, we have three types of users in Linux. Okay, so actually, we have two types of permissions or authorizations. You can give simply you can give authorization. Okay, so two types of authorizations are there. One is permission. and second one is ownership. Okay, so let's discuss about first permissions or permissions, then we will discuss about ownership. Okay, right. First, every file and directory on your Linux or Unix system is assigned three types of owners. Okay, so anyways, first we can discuss about owners only. So first, in any Linux or Unix operating system or in any flavor, we have three types of ownership. That is, one is users and groups and others. Okay, so we have three types of ownerships. One is users, groups, and others. Okay. For each and every user or group or others, what is meant by users means here, a user is the owner of the file. Okay. This is nothing but owner of the file. Whatever it may be, is the owner of the file. By default, the person who created a file becomes its owner. See here, I have created the file called students here, and with the root I have created, that's why root is the owner of this file. Okay, so it is showing here root, right? Root is the owner of the file. See, for example, I'll create now user add. Okay, user add space Naresh. Okay, so user got added Naresh. See now, let me check in the home directory. I have Naresh is there, right? See, now Naresh is there, and the owner is Naresh only. Look at here, Naresh is the owner. Okay, now I'll give password to Naresh. Okay, so password is Naresh 1. Naresh 1. Okay, so all authentication tokens updated successfully. Now I'm in root. ID means root. Now I'll switch to Naresh. Okay, now I'm in Naresh. So what is the PWD means? That is home Naresh. Okay. Now I'll go to root Palamner. Sorry, Palamner. So in the Palamner we have 1E degree college, right? So inside the 1E degree college we have BCom, and here you can have student. Now I will try to create file here, touch space roll numbers. Okay. Permission denied it is showing. Why? Because why the permission is denied here? The Naresh user don't have the root permission to create anything here. Okay, that's the difference between root user and normal user. So touch roll number, I'm trying to create the file with Naresh user. Okay, now I'm in Naresh user, not in root. See here, I'm in Naresh user ID. I'm in Naresh user, but that's why I'm not getting the permission to do anything. Now I'll try to do sudo bash. See here, password for Naresh it is asking. Okay, I'll provide Naresh one. See, now I'm in Naresh only. Okay, still I'm in Naresh only. But let me try to create folder now. Still permission denied. Why? Because Naresh is not added in sudo s. Okay, anyways, I will exit from Naresh. Now I'm in root only. Okay, if I press ID, now I'm in root. Okay, now I'll switch to Naresh again. Okay, right. If I do pwd, now I'm in Naresh folder only. That is Naresh home directory only. Slash home Naresh. See here, I can able to create file touch space roll number. See here, I can able to create the file roll number. Why? Because I'm in the home directory of Naresh, not in the root directory. That's why I have permission to create the roll number, and after creating the file roll number, I have the ownership called Naresh only. So Naresh is the owner of roll number. Okay, no one can do anything with this roll number file now except Naresh and root. So root user can do anything as well as Naresh can do anything. If we have any other user, that user cannot able to do anything with the Naresh. See, for example, I'll go out from the root user now. Now sorry, now I'm in root. From the Naresh I came to root. Now I'll create one more user, Satish. Okay. So ls minus l slash home. Here Satish got username. Now I'll assign password also to Satish. Okay, so Satish password is Satish1, right? So password also I have assigned to Satish. Now I'll switch user to Satish. Okay, SU means switch user, you know already, right? So now I'm in Satish. Okay, if I do PWD, home Satish is there. Okay, if I do ls minus l, nothing is there. If I go one step back, I'll go to home, and if I do ll, I'll see now Naresh also. I mean still Satish user only. I mean Satish user only. Look at here, Satish user only, but I can able to see Naresh also. Now I'll try to go to Naresh Naresh home directory. See here, permission denied. Even I cannot able to move to the Naresh. Why? Because if you look at here, it's RWX. That is nothing but read, write, execute. I'll explain these things to you. The thing is, you need to understand now. User sees nothing but owner of the file or owner of the directory. సో యూజర్ అనేవాడు ఎవడైతే క్రియేట్ చేస్తాడో వాడే దానికి ఓనర్గా ఉంటాడు అనమాట. ఓకేనా, దట్స్ అబౌట్ ద యూజర్స్. And groups, like owners, groups is also same thing. Okay, like a group can contain multiple users. Okay, a group is nothing but which contains multiple users, nothing but one or more users. Okay, so all users belong to this group having the same group permissions. See, for example, if I add narration Satish to one group, and narration Satish have the same permissions to access the file or anything. Okay, suppose why we have a group means, suppose if you have a project where a number of people require access to any one file. Okay, that is only just assume that if there is any project which needs to be handled by a multiple number of persons, and thus and those persons should be belongs to one group, and that group having the same permissions to access the one that project file. Okay, so at that time the group permissions will be assigned to the users. Okay, right. So how we can do that means, simply we can add group now. Okay, so you know right already how to group, how to add the group, how to create the group.
Yes, bro.
So how to create the group, tell
Yes.
me.
Group add.
Group add space, um we can say, what, warriors. Okay, so now how to add users to group warriors.
One second. Oh.
User mode hyphen
User mode. Yeah.
mode minus u minus g
G.
warriors space Naresh. Okay, so okay, small g I think. Okay, invalid user. Okay, I think first minus 3 space minus u. Okay, what is this?
Minus
Sir,
A.
User mode?
appending some. Sir, G capital, right?
No, no, I think minus a here. I think minus
User mode minus A. Yes.
user mode minus a minus capital G, right?
Yes,
Capital.
yes.
Yes.
Right. Right. Appending, right? We are doing appending, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I have added Naresh to warriors. Now same I will add Satish to warriors. Okay. Right. Now here, now both Naresh and Satish in one group, that is called warriors group. Okay.
Yes.
Now let me go to uh, cd/home here. I'll change the permissions here. Okay, don't worry here. I will tell you how to what are those permissions and how we are giving that permissions and those. First I will do, and then I'll let you know the details and everything. Okay. Right. Now see here. Now I have changed permissions to Naresh and Satish, and they are in group called warriors. Okay. And now I will switch user to Satish. Okay. Now I'm in Satish user. See, if I press ID, Satish is there. Now I'll go to cd slash home. So here I have narration Satish. So now I'm in Satish. Now I'll try to go to Naresh now. Okay. See, now I can able to access the Naresh. Why? Because I have given permission to group. So Satish can able to access Naresh, and Naresh can also access to Satish. Here now what now Satish will create a file called sample in Naresh directory. See here, permission denied still. Why? Because he can able to read only, he can't able to write that one. Okay. So he can able to read the Satish can able to read the Naresh directory. Here he cannot able to write that one. So we can see that what is meant by read, write and execute to the user or group or others. Okay. So as of now we have seen users and groups. Okay. And we have one more permission owner called, that is others. Okay. So others in the sense is which are those who are not belongs to any group and any other user. Okay, those who are not belongs to groups are single standalone users can considered as others, and this can access to a file. Okay, this person has neither created the file nor he belongs to a user group who could own the file. అంటే ఏమంటే దట్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ పర్సన్ హ్యాస్ నెయిదర్ క్రియేటెడ్ ద ఫైల్ నార్ హీ బిలాంగ్స్ టు ఏ యూజర్ గ్రూప్. అంటే ఒక ఫైల్ కానీ క్రియేట్ చేసుకోలేడు, దెన్ హీ బిలాంగ్స్ టు ఏ యూజర్ గ్రూప్ హూ కుడ్ ఓన్ ద ఫైల్. అంటే అతడు దేనికి ఉంటాడంటే అతను ఏదైతే ఫైల్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకుంటాడో దానికి మాత్రం ఓనర్గా ఉంటాడు అనమాట. ఓకేనా. ప్రాక్టికల్గా ఏమంటే ఇట్ మీన్స్ ఎవ్రీబడి అదర్ దాన్ యూజర్స్ అండ్ గ్రూప్స్. యూజర్స్ అండ్ గ్రూప్స్ కాకుండా ఎవరైతే ఉంటారో వాళ్ళందరూ కూడా మనకి అదర్స్ కింద వస్తారనమాట. ఓకేనా. సో ఇవి మెయిన్ ఓనర్షిప్, యూజర్స్ గ్రూప్స్ అదర్స్ అనేది ఓనర్షిప్స్ అనమాట. ఓకేనా. నౌ కమింగ్ టు ద పర్మిషన్, వీ హ్యావ్ త్రీ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ పర్మిషన్స్ కాల్డ్ రీడ్, ఓకే, అండ్ రైట్ అండ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. ఓకే, రీడ్, రైట్ అండ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. సో రీడ్, రైట్, ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అనేది ఎట్లా మనం ఇండికేట్ చేసుకుంటామంటే దీంట్లో ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ లాస్ట్ లో రీడ్ రైట్ ఆర్డబ్ల్యూఎక్స్ 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 అని ఉంటుంది. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ రీడ్, రైట్, ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. Read, write, execute like this. Okay, but how we are going to assign the values and how it's going to be changed the permissions or anything, now let us see that clearly. Okay, so this you should know perfectly. Why? Because this is the important thing in permissions. Okay, so first I'll provide so like a table thing. Okay. Okay, anyways I'll explain in Excel so that you can understand clearly. These permissions can be assigned by numbering type and symbols. Okay, so let me show you how the numbers are assigned to these permissions and how it's going to be seen. Okay, so first is number, and then for that permission type. Okay, and then symbol for that. Okay, right. first number is 0. So permission type is no permission. For 0 there is no permission. Okay, and symbol is just minus. Okay, oh sorry. Okay, simply we can say it as a minus. Okay, see here, you can see minus is here, right? Or minus x means in between that we have w. The w means write permission is 0. We don't have permission called write. Okay, now let us see 1. Okay, and here 1 is nothing but execute. Okay, this was standard permissions. Okay, don't get confused. Okay, these are standard permissions. Right, and then next, so what is the value that is assigned to 2 is right. So the symbol is, why I am giving here is minus x minus w minus, means in that minus we have a standard format called read. Okay, read write execute is the standard thing. Now I am giving 3. 3 is nothing but execute plus write. Okay, execute plus write, that means write and execute. Okay, like this. And then 4 is nothing but only read access. So read means r minus minus, and then 5 which is having read plus execute. సో ఇక్కడ ఏమంటే read execute కాబట్టి read minus x, and then 6 వచ్చి read plus write. So here you can give rw minus. Okay, and then 7 is the last actually. Why? Because the combinations, sorry, the combinations got end here. Read write plus execute. Okay, so like this, read write execute. These are the things which you can able to give uh, the permissions to users or groups or others. Okay, now look at here, for users also we have 3 types of permissions. Okay, for users we have read write execute access, and for groups also we have read write execute permissions, and for others also we have read write execute. Okay, right. So here how, so if any person is having full access means read write execute, so the order is users groups and others only. Look at here, first 3 letters belongs to users, and next 3 letters belongs to groups, and next 3 letters belongs to others. Okay, for even though directories also exclude the d, you can see here rwx, rwx and rwx. So if any person having the full access means at that time, I mean full access to users and groups others, means that is the value of this thing is, let me merge, and here I'll provide 777. Okay, like this. One moment. Right, so now I'll do merge. Okay, right. So if any person, I mean for users and groups others have full permissions means the value is 777. Okay. So now let me give you the whole example. Okay. See here, for users having full permission and for groups having R minus execute only. Okay. And for others also R minus execute. So at that time the value is 755. How that 5k means, here R minus x is having the value is 5. Okay. So for groups is 5, for others is 5. Okay. Same like that also. You can, let me do that again. For example, for users have only access of read access. Okay. And minus minus. And for groups having only write access. Okay. And then for others having only read write. Okay, read write access. Now what is the value here? So the read value is only 4. So first is 4. And then again groups having only write access, write is 2. And then for others rw only means read write means 6. So this is how the r minus 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 w minus rw minus is 4 to 6. Look at here. Now I'll change the permissions for wait, let me go to the root here. Got this done. Okay, let me log in again. ఇది కొద్దిగా కన్ఫ్యూజన్ గా ఉంటుంది స్టార్టింగ్ లో, బట్ పోను పోను మీకు అలవాటు అయిపోతుంది ఇది. ఓకేనా, జస్ట్ ఒక క్లాస్ లోనే అర్థం అయిపోతుంది, డోంట్ వరీ.
Bro, can I take that picture?
యా షూర్ వన్ మూమెంట్. యా డెఫినెట్లీ యూ నీడ్ టు టేక్ స్క్రీన్ షాట్.
Yes, it is.
Yes, take the screenshot.
Done, bro.
Done. Okay, right. So now నరేష్ గజేంద్ర ఉన్నారా?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Done.
ఓకే, రైట్ తీసుకున్నారా స్క్రీన్ షాట్?
తీసుకున్నాం.
ఓకే, రైట్. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, ఇప్పుడు నేను సిడి పలంనేర్లోకి వెళ్తాను నేను. ఓకే, సారీ, ఫస్ట్ సిడి రూట్కి వెళ్ళాలి నేను. ఓకే, సో సిడి పలంనేర్. సో హియర్ ఐ హ్యావ్ వాణి డిగ్రీ కాలేజ్. ఓకే, నౌ హియర్ ఐ హ్యావ్ BBA, BCom, BSc. Now I'll change the permissions to BBA. So to change the permission, we need to use command called chmod. Okay, and then if you are changing permission to directory, you need to give -r. Okay, why? Because inside the directory we have so many files and so many directories, so that the permission will change to that inside files also. Okay, that's why we need to give -r to directory. If you are changing permissions to directory, you need to give -R. Okay, now I am changing permissions to BBA, but what are the permissions means? I'll take 4 to 6. Okay, 4 to 6 is BBA. Okay, now the permissions before is rwx, r minus x, r minus x. Okay, observe here carefully. For BBA directory having the permissions rwx for users, next r minus x for groups, and next r minus x for others. Okay, now I have changed the permission with 4 to 6. Okay, so the value should be like this: r minus 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 w minus rw minus. Okay, now I'll type ll. Now r minus minus, got it right? So observe carefully, r minus minus first, next minus w minus, this is for groups. Okay, and rw minus, here rw minus, got it? Now I'll change permissions to BCom with full 777. chmod minus capital R 777 to BCom. Okay, Now see, earlier it was, let me do LL here. So after change the permissions to bcom, see here, RWX, RWX, RWX. That means for users full permissions, and for groups also having full permissions, and for others also having full permissions. Okay. And now for BSc I'll change to 755. No, I don't want to change the 755. Why? Because already it is having 755. Means read write execute for users. Okay. Here read write execute for users, and 5 is R minus X. Okay. Here R minus X, and another one is R minus X. Now I'll change permissions to BSc like 644. Okay. 644. What will be the permission? Can you tell me what is the 644 value? Let me do here. Okay, I'll do here only 644. Okay, tell me what's the value come here for users?
Read, write.
Read, write, minus. Next,
Read.
for groups. మీరు ఇక్కడే చూడొచ్చు. 4 అంటే ఇక్కడే ఉంది వాల్యూ. 4 అంటే ఏమి ఆర్ అని ఉంది.
Read.
ఆర్ మైనస్ మైనస్ అని చెప్పాలి. ఓకేనా? నెక్స్ట్ ఫర్ 4 అంటే మళ్ళీ 4 అంటే మళ్ళీ ఇదే ఆర్ మైనస్ మైనస్, రైట్? లైక్ దిస్. ఓకే, లైక్ దిస్. 644 అంటే మనకి ఏం రావాలా? రీడ్ రైట్ మైనస్, రీడ్ మైనస్ మైనస్, రీడ్ మైనస్ మైనస్ రావాలా, అంతే కదా? Now I'm executing this. Now I am doing LL. Look at here, for BSc having the permissions read W minus RW minus. We got right, RW minus. Next is R minus minus, R minus minus. See here, R minus minus, R minus minus. That's how you need to calculate the permissions when you are going to assign the permissions to users or groups or others. You need to remember these numbers. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. But here you don't need to remind all these things. You just remind only 3 things. Okay, what is the value of read, and what is the value of write, and what is the value of execute? See, the value of read is only 4. Okay, and the value of write is 2, and the value of execute is 1. Okay, got it right? If you know these values, RWX, read write X, the format is read write X. Remember, read write execute, RWX. Okay, and you remember 4 to 1. Okay, if you know this 4 to 1 and RWX order, just read write execute value, you can able to do many combinations. Okay, for example, if you want to do 7 means what's the value of 7? 4 plus 2 plus 1, 7 only. That means it should be having all accesses, read write access. Okay,
Read, write, X.
and if you want to add 4 and 1, 4 plus 1 is 5. So what is the value? 4 plus 1 is read execute. So
Read,
R
execute.
minus,
Read, execute.
right? So if you want to 2 plus 1, 3. So 3 means what is the value of 3? Write and
W.
execute. So minus read execute. Sorry, write execute. Okay, like this. If you know this thing, only this thing, మీరు ఇది మాత్రం గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటే చాలు. రీడ్ రైట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అని 4 to 1 అని ఇట్లా గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటే సరిపోతుంది. రీడ్ రైట్ ఎక్స్ 4 to 1. బట్ ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టుకున్న తర్వాత మీరు ఏం గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలంటే హౌ టు చేంజ్ ద పర్మిషన్స్ కమాండ్. ఇది అనమాట. chmod -r అనేది వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. మనకి ఇంటర్వ్యూస్లో కూడా ఇది వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఇంటర్వ్యూస్లో ఒకవేళ అడగకపోయినా కూడా మనము ఇది రెగ్యులర్గా చేస్తూ ఉంటాం రియల్ టైంలో కూడా. ఓకేనా? బట్ డోంట్ వరీ, మనం ఇది చేయాల్సిన అవసరం వచ్చినప్పుడు మనకి ఎనీవేస్ గూగుల్ ఉంటుంది దేనికైనా కూడా. బట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు నో, రైట్? అంటే ఎక్కడ ఏం చేయాలా, ఎక్కడ ఏం అసైన్ చేయాలా అనేది ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాబట్టి మీరు ఇది ఖచ్చితంగా తెలుసుకోవాలన్నమాట. సో సింపుల్ రీడ్ రైట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అనేది గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటే సరిపోతుంది. రీడ్ రైట్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ 4 to 1. Just 4 to 1 for read write execute and value మీరు గుర్తుపెట్టుకుంటే then you can do anything for any user or groups or others, like you have to give like the chmod minus r. Okay, here I have given the permissions to chmod minus r to bcom bba bsc. Okay, now I'll go to bcom once. Okay, we have students file, right? See, I have given permissions to bcom is 777. That means full permissions to bcom, right? Here read write execute for bcom. The file which is inside the bcom is students and it is also having full permissions. Look at here. Why? Because we have given minus r. Okay, we have given minus r. That's why. Okay. 1 second, guys. I'll be back within a moment. బాత్రూమ్ ఉందా? బాత్రూమ్ యాడుంది? అవునా? ఉమ్. ఓకే గైస్, సారీ, లెట్స్ కంటిన్యూ. సో అర్థమైంది కదా, ఇక్కడ మనం పైన ఏదైతే ఇస్తామో అంటే బయట మనం మైనస్ ఆర్ అని ఇచ్చిన తర్వాత ఏదైనా ఒక డైరెక్టరీ పర్మిషన్ ఇస్తే ఆ డైరెక్టరీలో ఉన్న ఫైల్స్ అన్నిటికీ కూడా సేమ్ పర్మిషన్ అనేది రిఫ్లెక్ట్ అవుతుంది అనమాట. ఓకేనా? లెట్ మీ చెక్ ఫర్ బిఎస్సి. Inside BSc students we have, for BSc permission is read write minus RW minus R minus minus R minus, same ditto. See, RW minus R minus R minus R minus minus. Got it? Like that, if you are giving permissions to anything, you need to provide minus R to change the permissions inside the directory also. Okay. See, for example, if you are not giving R, what will happen? See, chmod space 7 to 1 bcom. Okay, it will execute, but the thing is the permissions for bcom got changed now. See, earlier it is having full permissions 777. Now it is having 7 to 1. That means for users it is having full permissions read write execute. For groups it is having only write permission, and for others it is having execute permission. Okay, this is called 7 to 1. I have given only chmod 7 to 1 to bcom. Now I'll go inside bcom. Now let's see what is the status of the student. Here the students got remains the same of full permissions. It was not changed to 7 to 1. Why? Because I didn't give minus r. Minus R is nothing but you can say that is for directory or recursive. Okay, you can say recursive. That means inside the directory, if you want to change the permissions to all files and everything, you can give minus R. Or if you want to change only permissions to particular directory, means you can give like this. Okay, like this you can give. అర్థమైంది కదా? Got it? Permissions concepts లో
Yes,
ఏమైనా
sir.
డౌట్ ఉందా?
No, bro.
Everything is perfect, right?
Yes, bro. ఒకసారి ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే డౌట్స్ వస్తే
Yes.
అడుగుతాం.
రైట్. అంటే ఇదేమంటే మీరు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయండి పర్మిషన్స్ ని, మీకే అర్థమైపోతుంది మళ్ళీ. ఓకేనా?
Okay.
రైట్. ఓకే, రోజుకి క్లాస్ చాలు. ఇంకా మనం గ్రూప్స్ అయిపోయింది, తర్వాత క్యాట్ మోర్ ఇవన్నీ అయిపోయింది. నెక్స్ట్ మనం చూడబోయే కమాండ్ ఏంటంటే గ్రెప్ కమాండ్ చూస్తాం మనం. ఓకేనా? గ్రెప్ కమాండ్, పైప్ కమాండ్. ఓకే, గ్రెప్ పైప్, ఈ రెండు వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఈ రెండు చూస్తాం. ఈ రెండు చూసిన తర్వాత మనం మళ్ళీ కొద్దిగా హై లెవెల్ కమాండ్స్కి వద్దాం, అంటే టెక్నికల్ కమాండ్స్కి వచ్చేద్దాం. టెక్నికల్ కమాండ్స్ అంటే ఇంకా రియల్ టైంలో మనం ఏమేం కమాండ్స్ రెగ్యులర్గా యూజ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాము, రెగ్యులర్గా నేర్చుకోవాల్సిన కమాండ్స్, కంపల్సరీగా నేర్చుకోవాల్సిన కమాండ్స్, అవన్నీ కూడా చూద్దాం మనం. ఓకేనా? సో నెక్స్ట్
Okay.
గ్రెప్ అండ్ పైప్. ఓకే, tomorrow we will finish, tomorrow and after tomorrow, mean by Wednesday we'll complete Linux, Linux commands and everything. Okay, so after that we will see how to we will go to AWS directly. Okay, so AWS in the sense is what are all those things we need to do in the real time. Okay, with the Linux and everything, whatever it may be, we are going to do all small projects within the Linux only. So I will what's that I'll take you into the real time scenario, how to play with the Linux and how to install different softwares in the Linux operating system, and Linux server, and how to access that access that applications and how to use that applications also. I'll show you. Tomorrow, tomorrow I'll complete that thing. What is that? Commands and everything, and also sorry, not tomorrow, by day after tomorrow, and then we will see shell scripting also. Okay, shell script, this is very important. Shell script, we will see the shell script. Now, as of now, we will see the basics in shell script. Basic commands or basic things, basic shell scripting. So later we will see, later we will study the scripting. Okay, అంటే మనం షెల్ స్క్రిప్టింగ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉండదు, ఫుల్గా మనం ఏం రాయాల్సిన అవసరం ఉండదు కోడింగ్, బట్ వీ నీడ్ టు స్టడీ దట్ స్క్రిప్ట్. ఓకే, వీ నీడ్ టు స్టడీ దట్ స్క్రిప్ట్. దానిపైన మనం వెళ్దాం ముందుకు, సరేనా?
ఓకే బ్రో.
ఇవంతా నేర్చుకున్న తర్వాత మనం ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ లో సర్వీసెస్కి వెళ్దాం. ఒక్కొక్క సర్వీసెస్కి వెళ్ళి ఆ సర్వీసెస్ లో ఏమేం చేస్తాం మనం అనేది చూద్దాం. అంటే ఈ సర్వీసెస్ చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇక్కడ లోడ్ బ్యాలెన్సర్ ఉంది. లోడ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనకు కంపల్సరీ మనకు వెబ్ సర్వర్స్ కావాలా, వెబ్ సర్వర్స్ తో పాటు అప్లికేషన్ కావాలా, అవన్నీ కూడా నేను మీకు చెప్పిస్తాను. అవన్నీ చేసేటప్పుడే మనం ఈ లైనక్స్ లో కూడా అన్ని చేసుకుంటా వెళ్తాం అనమాట. ఓకేనా? దట్స్ హౌ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు వర్క్ అరౌండ్ విత్ లైనక్స్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ ఇన్ ద రియల్ టైమ్. How to deploy the applications, or how to install web servers or application servers, like that. Okay, so వేరే వాళ్ళు చెప్పే డెవాప్స్ కోచింగ్ కి, నేను చెప్పే డెవాప్స్ కోచింగ్ కి డిఫరెన్స్ అనేది నేను మీకు చెప్పేటప్పుడే చెప్తాను నేను. ఓకేనా? తర్వాత మీరు ఎవరైనా ఒకవేళ మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కానీ ఇంకోరు ఎవరి దగ్గరైనా చెప్పించుకుంటే మీరు అడిగి చూడండి, ఇది మీకు చెప్పినారా అని అడిగి చూడండి, మీకే డిఫరెన్స్ తెలుస్తుంది. ఓకేనా?
షూర్ బ్రో.
ఓకే 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 సతీష్. ఓకే నరేష్. ఓకే చంద్ర.
Okay. Bye.
థ్యాంక్స్ బ్రో. బై.